I'm gonna be so for real with you right now. Go invest in some protection. Spiritual protection is one thing, right? But like, I just got a new taser, okay? It's bedazzled. We love to see a lady with protection. Because if you look at what's going on right now, it's not just institutional protection that's necessary. What's happening is emboldening lots of people to be more violent and more dangerous. Just because you may not have the capacity for violence within your heart does not mean that the world does not carry people who have the capacity for violence in their heart. Those people exist, obviously and clearly right in front of our faces. Okay? Several months ago, before the weather it didn't get super cold, but colder, right? I was riding my little bike around town. It was like 3 a.m., okay? Where I live, nobody is out at 3 a.m. unless they don't have another place to be. Or apparently, you're me and you're headed back home, okay? And before you say anything about, well, maybe you shouldn't have been out at 3 a.m., I'm free and I can do what I want, okay? Anyways, though, back to the story. I get almost back to my spot and I pass another biker who has no lights on his bike, dressed in all black, and is wearing a skull gator mask. Now, I didn't see that until later because he passed me, turned around promptly, and followed me. I was at my turn though, and I always check behind me if like people are passing me to see if they turn around, because I don't trust random people on the street. Who do you think I am? Okay. You think they trust me? Because they probably shouldn't. All right. Anyways, I turned around to see, and he turned around. He was in the street behind me, just staring at me like he was gonna do something. I was waiting for my light to change. There was nobody out. I could have gone. But one thing I've learned about my practice with the spirits is that I will always be a law-abiding citizen unless it is a very, very... Okay. Which, you know what? If that's what it is, that's what it is. Back to the story. Again, I stood there and stared back at that man. Because what are you about to do right now? You gonna come over here? What are you gonna do once you get here? What do you think I'm gonna do when you get here? Let's really be so for real about this. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And trust me, if you're in that situation, you don't want to know me. Okay? That happened on an Aquarius moon. I've been paying attention to the Aquarius moons. Now we're going to talk about spiritually, okay? I've been paying attention to the Aquarius moons for kind of all year. Our first coven work that we did together was on the new moon in Aquarius. So I've been kind of paying attention to what's happening on the Aquarius moons so I can stay tapped in to our work together and also see what's coming up. We got an Aquarius eclipse on the 17th of February, right? So I've been looking at it, and I've noticed that the energy on the Aquarius moons is a little bit more volatile. Invest in some protection. Take some defense classes, okay? People are sometimes surprised to find this out about me. I've also been through that form of training to make sure that if ever I was in a situation like that, I know how to handle myself, among other things. There's multitudes that were layered into that spiritually for me. It was necessary, okay, for a lot of different reasons. And I'm thankful that I went and did it, because you know what? It also taught me, someone who grew up maybe in not the healthiest environments, okay? Fear was used against me a lot. We're gonna get personal. A lot. Growing up in a non-harm reduced home, not very fun. Doesn't really set you up for the world either to be non-harm reduced. So going through that kind of training, it taught me how to face a lot of my fears and how to act when I'm still afraid. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, okay? And invest in some protection. We're in the middle of a world redirection. Spiritual protection and prayer should not be underestimated. It's also not always the solution. And sometimes what spirit puts us through, especially when it comes to harm and violence, sometimes it does not make sense. Why would you ask me to go through that, spirit? Why would you have me experience that? Why did I even go through enough in my life to feel like I needed to go train in combat, right? Maybe the whole point was to get me up so that I would go learn. Again, there's more to it than that, right? And also, it's not to say that the harmful things you've been through are your fault. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, in the spirit, there's always another layer. Spirit is always moving us. Spirit is always asking us to do things, has us on a path for a specific reason. And when we really start to tap into it and we start to understand the higher learnings and the higher wisdom and what is really happening and going on in the highest elevation, usually the season you're in now is a preparation for the next one. However that might fit. Okay, at least that's a pattern for me. So if you're in a season right now where you feel compelled to start learning how to protect yourself and to advance those skills, prepare then. Sometimes in the spirit, you do enough preparation work, they're not going to send you through a whole bunch of times where those skills would be totally necessary. And or they're going to give you the room to figure out how to use them in the next scenario. Because why did I do all of that training and now the world looks like what it looks like? There's no way I could have known that that was going to happen. So invest in some protection. however that looks for you. This is not to scare anybody either, okay? Heal your relationship with fear. This is not me trying to fear monger BS, whatever. This is me letting you know about the reality that we live in. And yeah, sometimes that reality is a little scary. So I'm just gonna entrust that we can all have an adult conversation, okay? Or a more mature conversation. Yeah, because there are kids on the set. You know what I mean? Okay. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Take care of yourself out there. Keep up the brew you need to do. I'll talk to you soon. Also true.